Like when I was a little kid, I told myself if I could just skateboard and have fun and somehow be able to make money to survive, that like, I'm good.
They have a big Ghost Skateboarding Day going on, an event going on. I totally forgot. We're gonna have to find somewhere to park.
My name's Sean Davis. I grew up in Naperville, Illinois. And growing up, there was a really good skateboarding scene. And I also had a local skate park, like 2 local skate parks not far from my house. There was a lot of local skate shops, and we had this local shop in my town called RQ. And so my dad took me there on my birthday. And I remember walking in the shop, and you can just like, it's like that smell of a skate shop, and you just walk in. And when I got my first skateboard, I just remember going to the park, and then at the skate park there was just so many locals. Every time I went there I'd see all the same homies. I think I just fell in love with it super naturally. And I was always like the little Grom, and then there was always the older skate heads that were like, just I looked up to so much and they inspired me. And I think Naperville specifically, it was like a breeding ground for really, really talented skateboarders. Like there was this pro Josh Harmony that came out of Naperville, Kevin Braun, Nick Matthews, Chaz Ortiz, Neen Williams, like all in that Chicagoland area. Yeah, I had a lot of really good mentors and older figures in my life that helped me. I think that's a lot of what skating is about too. It's like the camaraderie of kind of just looking out for one another. Like it doesn't really matter your age, your ethnicity, where you're from. Like it's just, if you skate and you love skateboarding, it's just like you're a part of that family. Do you know what these are, the stylists?
Yeah, I have one.
Yeah. Oh no. I just go to Barry Flash Photo Lab in Culver City.
Oh, really? Because
yeah.
I think
My friend Alex, he was like the one dude at the park who like had a camera type thing. And I told Alex, I was like, yo, would you be down to film and edit at the skate park? And he was like, yeah, I'm down. So he like borrowed the camera from Ryan and we filmed this edit. And it was my first ever edit. I was 10 years old. And it's like the worst quality edit, but it's on YouTube still. I think it's like 13, 14 years ago. You can see the video. My mom and dad were super supportive, and my dad always really wanted me to go to college. He was the type of dad where it's like, go to school, get good grades, like the traditional mindset. And my mom was the complete opposite. My mom was like she understood what I was doing and trusted me and knew that there was a reason why I was doing those things. Even though my father, like, you know, we butted heads about it, but he was very supportive and, you know, financially supported my skateboarding career. My goal was to graduate high school early, and then as soon as I graduate high school, I'm gonna drive out to Los Angeles, I'm gonna pursue skateboarding, I'm gonna be a pro skater. We had a very tight squad of people that we grew up skating with, and we all went on road trips together. Like, we drove from Illinois to Arizona and filmed skating the whole time and went to contests, and there was a lot of like brotherhood. And one of my best friends from our group, his name was Josh Kaznicka, he ended up passing away. And it was very unexpected. And then 1 month later, from my friend passing away, my dad passed away. That really shook me up and changed my perspective on a lot of things. And I was forced to grow up because when my dad passed, I had to become a man. I got stuck in Naperville for another 2 years after I graduated high school. And then during those 2 years, I just really like fortified myself. I read tons of books, educated myself, worked as a server. I was like a host. I worked really hard and I filmed a lot more video parts and I kept getting better. And I knew that eventually I had to move to Los Angeles to make it in skateboarding. I'll never forget just like driving into LA the first time. I was just like, holy shit, I cannot believe I actually just like sent it and I'm doing this and I'm like about to live here, like what? I definitely had to adapt and kind of like figure it out. And I think that naturally is how I found Venice. That was the first place in LA where I felt like I really found my community. And every time I went there, it was just like the same vibe and feeling that I had from my local skate park. During that time period, I started sleeping in my car. And I didn't know anyone. So I was like, all right, I got my 2013 Honda Accord. I had a gym membership at Burn Fitness in Santa Monica. So my routine was like, shower at Burn Fitness, wake up, go skate Venice all day. I just went to Venice every single day until I was broke. Dude, and it's crazy, like I would be sleeping in my car and I would have no money and I would be praying to God. And my mom would call me and she'd be like, Sean, like, how are you doing? And I'm like, I didn't even eat today. I can't afford to get a haircut. I have no gas. My mom would literally send me her last $50 and eat ramen. Like my mom was broke and I was broke. And my mom was like supporting me in my journey because she believed in me so much. I'm just like, I'm so blessed to have such an amazing mom. And yeah, bro, it's not easy. It is not easy.
Coronavirus.
China has identified the cause of the mysterious new virus.
Coronavirus.
We had Donald Trump on the phone and he was announcing the world is going into lockdown. Venice literally changed like that. In the early stages of COVID, everyone was still skating at Venice and the police were getting super mad because they'd have to come every single day. And it got to the point where they ended up burying the Venice skate park in sand.
Venice Beach Skate Park is closed and now covered in sand after city officials have now dumped sand into the pools and rails to prevent
when the summer
people
hit,
from
all the
skating.
skaters were like, fuck this shit. So the whole skate community got together, dug out all the sand from the skate park. And I remember when it was skatable again, I went to Venice and I got a clip with my best friend Andy. He's so good at filming on the iPhone and filming me specifically. We're in sync, like we're really a dynamic duo. And me and Andy just filmed so many clips and I was just constantly posting them to Instagram. And I was pairing like the sunset with the beach, a famous skate park that was also trending at the time because of the sand being in it. I remember I posted one clip there, the first clip I posted, it like went a little viral and I started getting some followers. Another like really important factor in all this was meeting Steve Barra. Steve Barra is the owner of this big media company called The Barracks. He's from St. Louis, he lives in LA, and he's raising a kid in Naperville, Illinois. And I would DM Steve all my street clips, like this early, like it was like a highlight reel of all my street clips. And then he goes, I have an idea for you. And I was like, what are you thinking? And then he just left me on red. When Steve was in Naperville, he would go to the Apple store. And my friend Ben, who was a good friend of mine that I grew up skating with, met him at the Apple store and they became friends. And so Ben was in a meeting with Steve one day and he showed Steve one of my Venice clips. And Steve was just like, bro, who is this kid? And I was like, oh, he's from Naperville. And Steve was like, no way, he's from Naperville. Like, let's invite him to the Barracks and do a video with him. Steve hit me up and had me come to the Barracks one day. And he was like, hey man, I'm working with this shoe company. I think I'm gonna be able to offer you a contract and pay you for skateboarding. And I was like, what? So I started riding for Cariuma. And I remember I got my first ever skateboarding contract. And I remember reading it, it said like, professional skateboarder. That was kind of the moment where I felt like I was now a professional skateboarder. Because I remember signing that contract and I was like, boom, like, and then I got my first paycheck and I was like, hey, like, I did it, you know, like I did it. I ended up getting my best friend Alex, who filmed my first skateboarding video, a job for Cariuma, and he quit his 9-to-5, flew out to LA, and I'm now riding for this team with all my homies and I'm living my dream as a professional skateboarder. It all just like hit me out of nowhere, you know? During that time, I randomly had gotten a photo shot of me at Venice, and the lady that shot the photo was a photographer for National Geographic. I was literally maybe even wearing these exact pants. I did this fly out of the bull. It's called like I guess like an indie or like a tuck knee. And the very first photo she shot of me ended up being a 2-page cover spread on National Geographic in a 12-page article about skateboarding in Southern California. I feel like that's what I love about skateboarding is like, you never know the opportunities that you might get based on just skating and putting yourself out there, and whether it's like National Geographic, modeling, being featured in like some brand deal, or being in an MGK music video. One day I was just chilling, I was getting ready to go skate, and I checked my Instagram DMs and I got a message from Sam Cahill. And he's Machine Gun Kelly's like main director and shoots a lot of his music videos. And he was like, yo, bro, do you want to be featured in a MGK music video? He's like, we need some last minute skating clips. Like, do you think you could pull up to his house? And I was like, bet, I'm on my way. Met MGK, met Sam. He had drained out the pool in his backyard. He wanted to get some clips of me like skating in the pool. And that was literally like the vibe. Like I'm chilling in the back of MGK's like backyard, skating in this pool on some Lords of Dogtowns type shit, you know? And so we spent like 9 hours hanging out, skating. Yeah, so the music video just came out recently and I had a little bit of footage in it and it was a really cool opportunity. I think my greatest inspiration for my life and career is genuinely to help other people and give back the wisdom that I've learned. So as I age and become better at life, at skateboarding, my career, my business, I just hope to take all of that knowledge and then step into the next phase, which I believe is giving back and inspiring and then being a mentor for other people. It's kind of like the Supermush thing. It's like, Supermush isn't just a brand. Like, they're healing people, they're helping people. Bro, mushrooms are good for you, you know? And I don't know, I just think that's so important. Like, the energy behind the company and like what you're trying to do with it. Once again, like, this is not possible without people. And yeah, and love. I would never have become a professional skateboarder if it wasn't for the people's footsteps that I followed in and the other great skateboarders that I had in my hometown and that I met when I moved to California. I would say my best piece of advice is to love yourself, love other people, and work very hard, and you will attract the right energy and the right people. What you seek is seeking you. And I think by putting that all together and just putting yourself out there, you never know what's possible. I feel like I'm not being myself, you know?
Stand up and then turn around 3 times. Woo, 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 and then sit back down.
Okay, origin story. Oh, now I'm dizzy.